We are going live, people. Going live. There we go. Do it now. Yes, you can hear the baby. Hear the baby. So hello. Come on in. I'm gonna do a little cooking. Well, actually not tonight. All I'm actually doing is a little heating up of some soup tonight, right now, for my beautiful wife. So hopefully, it seems like I'm getting a little, if I move fast. Huh. I got a new camera tonight, so I'm working with the Logitech 920S. So hopefully everything is going to work out fine. You guys, when you're watching, you can let me know if I sound okay, if I'm tweaky, weird, whatever. I'm using the mic and the video on this one tonight. I'm going to have a better setup soon. Right now, this is where we are. This is how it's going to work. So I'm going to hang out and chit-chat with everybody when they come on in. Welcome to the chat room. Hey, Ben, subscribed at Tier 1. Thank you, sir. You awesome. Yeah, tell all your friends. Get on subscribe, people. Get in there. I'm going to show you guys some stuff tonight. So I'll hang out for a bit, and you can watch me just looking through my phone. I'll just, through my phone, and you guys can hang out if you want to. I'm on my phone, like we do. Actually, I have no idea what I'm doing here. So, anyway, so tonight, what I do on Sunday nights, if you are live with me, then you know what I do. Because I go live on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9 a.m. And that is more of a coaching day, and that is Old School Gamers Up, watching the Golden Globes. Good evening, Dry Ass Kids. What's up, Herbert? Let's see. Somebody is interesting. So, getting more and more people chatting with me and reaching out to me now because I'm on Twitch, baby. Things are starting to happen. It's it's starting off, and I really want to say thank you to you guys who are here at the very, very beginning, because this is where things kind of hit or miss. Put this on simmer. I'm warming up some soup for my wife. She's not feeling all that good. Maybe some of you guys have been going through. It seems like that the flu has been going back and forth with everybody. I was sick, back on a couple weeks ago when we went to Catalina. And then, the person who kind of gave it to us all, she came back in like yesterday and she's like, I don't feel good again. I'm like, oh crap. And now Kim's mom has it. Now Kim is sick. She's not, I don't know what that is. We don't know what it is yet. We'll figure it out. So, let me get, is this the right one? There we go. Perfect. So, tonight, what I'm going to do, I'm going to share with you guys some of my favorite foodie tips, tricks, products. Ian, what's up? Yeah, Adelaide fam. Yeah. Oh, man, I tell you, Adelaide, loving Adelaide. I am working on getting back to Adelaide as soon as I can. I'm working right now on something else to get me to Australia soon, so I will keep you informed. But I can't say anything yet. Yeah, so tonight, this is like the laid back, Sunday nights are food for thought, chilling, relaxing, just kind of hanging with you guys, right? And so I figured, why not let you guys in on how I run my kitchen, some of the cool things that I like to work with, and give you some tips on how to use them. Plus, tell you, I've got the idea. So, for those of you who don't know, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, I do my regular show. It's an hour. I do about 15 minutes. I talk with you guys, chat with you a little bit, and then I do 30 minutes of my podcast, which is, a particular subject. And then I come back the last 15 minutes and chat with you guys and answer questions on the subject or whatever it is. And that is working out pretty well. I'm still getting out the kinks. We are working on getting the new studio up, and I've got a studio out in the garage that I'm putting together. I was hopeful that I would have that tonight, but that didn't happen. It's not going to happen for another week or two. So we're getting up to the professional level soon. But I think the main thing is to talk with you guys, to connect with you guys, and share with you what I'm doing, what I'm working on, what my plans are, and during the coaching sessions, share with you my weaknesses too. I mean, I'm going through everything that I share with you guys. Some of it's part of my journey as well. Some of it's things that I've trained in and known for many, many years, or maybe I've trained in front of thousands in at conventions for 14 years on relationships and dating, etc., or business and real estate. And but for Sunday nights, I want it to be more laid back, and I got to thinking, well, I used to do something called In Vino Veritas. It was a little idea that I had, and I would get my friends to come over. I'd get a friend like Todd Habercorn, for example. He's a good buddy of mine. And I had him over, and we just drank a glass of wine and talked about the wine that we found, and we talked about, whatever it was. So now with Twitch, I'm thinking, why don't I do it again? I do it here. I have them over. We cook. We have, an hour, maybe even two. We sit down. We hang out just like this. Somebody would be right here with me and be like, hey, let's do this. We're going to cook this thing up. And hey, Red Nova Tyrant, how are you? We just cook things up and chat. Have some wine, cook up things, and eat and talk to you guys at the same time. Would you enjoy that? Would food for thought be something cool that you would enjoy and tell your friends about? Because that would be another aspect of what I do, because none of us are a ton of fun. Awesome. Then I'm going to work on that. None of us are one thing. And it's interesting because in business, everyone's telling you, you've got to niche. You got to niche down. And I'm like, how the hell do I niche down? I teach dating and relationships. I invest in real estate. I'm a voice actor and a public speaker and a coach. I coach NLP. I coach bank. I can coach voice acting. I mean, there's an awful lot that I do. So how do I put that together? And how do you niche down that? I got so many things. So I put it together now where I originally put together Relationship Sales Dynamics, which is more of a business and dating training, personality sales, and etc. And that's like big coaching stuff. But I'm thinking, well, what if I break it down a little bit? Like some of you guys are into my, dating and relationship stuff, the food game. I do a course on that. I've got a strategy session right now that I'm doing for 2020. It's, $99, and it's a 90-minute thing. It's $149, and it's a 90-minute thing where we sit down and we go over your strategy for getting relationships lined up for this year to, date more, strengthen the relationship you're already in, whatever it is. And so that's part of the coaching that I'm doing. And then, of course, if somebody wants to learn voice acting, I'm like, okay, I can coach you some of that too. And it's weird. Somebody to do real estate. I have a real estate strategy session as well, and that's more expensive. Usually it's $499, so I'm doing that for $149. But I basically it's for people that have never done real estate investing. They've been wanting to do it forever, but they're not doing it because the mindset isn't there. I have full-on coaching for that, but that's like $10,000. But it's like, for a quick 90-minute strategy session, that's easy. That's not really coaching. That's just, hey, let's get your brain together. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm talking about here. What I'm sharing with you guys is, just me. And I have a lot of layers, like you do. And I think sometimes we get confused or kind of lost, actually, with not being able to figure out what it is we want to do. And then there's the imposter syndrome that comes jumping in there. There's shame, there's guilt, there's fear of judgment, et cetera, et cetera. And that's what I coach on and get people past that. Because, like, if I was scared or if I was afraid of judgment, then look what I'm doing right now. Anybody can come and talk to me. Anybody can come and see anything and say anything. And some of you guys have seen the trolls that jump in and say just ridiculous crap. And that's not about me. It's about them. They have their own issues. So Anyway, so tonight I wanted to just keep it kind of light and hang out with you guys, chit chat with you, and share food stuff with you. Oh, the dry ice cube, babe, you're gonna want to keep watching my stuff because Kim and I were just talking about this today, and we're doing some coaching together back and forth, and thinking about that. It's like, well, when do you allow yourself? When do you say, I am good enough, I am enough, I have it, and it all comes from the inside. And that's a more of a coaching thing, but that's something I'll hit on in one of my podcasts. But we can talk a little bit about it tonight. But also, what I'm going to talk about tonight is just things that I love to do. I love to cook. Obviously, if you've read my book, then you know there are recipes in there and techniques, and there's a lot of training in food game. So I figure I would share some things that I use pretty much on a daily basis, or some of the things that I really like to use to make my dishes better, maybe some tips on tools. I don't know, it's just really free flowing. So you guys have to ask me questions. I mean, especially if you're a foodie, then you know what I'm talking about. Like, oh, foodie, here's a cool thing, a foodie thing. So on my birthday, Kim took me out to Petit Trois, which is Ludo Lefebvre's place. And Ludo is a big time, French chef, and he started with a lot of pop-up things and became super famous. And so he had Petit Trois, which was right across the corner, catty corner from Mario Batali's place, Mozza, right there at Highland and Melrose. And there's a little bitty strip mall and a little pizza joint, and they took over that pizza joint and made it Petit Trois. And then another thing opened up like 2 doors down or so, and they opened up Trois Mec. And now it's like just taking off. He's got Ludo's, like, what is it, chicken or something, like fried chicken that he's doing, and he's at Dodger Stadium. He's got a shop there. He's opening up, what's it called? The Ludo Bird. I think it's called Ludo Bird. And he's opening that. So we went to the Petit Trois over in Sherman Oaks, and it was tasty. Didn't have time to eat much, but we did have the foie gras. I mean, not the foie gras. We had the escargot and some steak tartare, which was magnifique. It was really incredible. And Declan even ate it. He was like, yeah, I'll try it. My kid is an adventurous eater. He'll eat almost anything, which is great because I cook almost everything. So, like right now, I'm heating up gluten-free chicken and dumplings that I made the other day. Very cool. And in there I've got other soups. I've got turkey. There's ham that we had that I didn't make. But, I mean, there's tons of stuff because I cook all the time. So, let me share with you a few things. Hold on a sec. Escargot found out love snails the past time. Excuse to eat more. Heck yeah. You don't need an excuse. You can eat all you want. Okay, so I don't even know where to start. If you guys have any questions, then definitely let me know. One thing I will start with is a knife. You need a sharp knife. A knife is only as good as how sharp it is. Do it like this, whatever. But a knife has to be sharp, really sharp. Now, not just sharp, it needs to be honed. So, have your knives professionally sharpened. I don't know how often, but until if they start feeling like they're not sharp, you get one of these. This is the honing thing, and you go at a 20 degree angle like that, and you're going to run it down. You're going to run down like this on both sides, like that. You just go boom. Now you have a much sharper and honed knife. That will actually help keep you from getting cut. And what I also recommend is you don't need that many knives. I have a crap ton of knives. I've got like 6 knives that I have for different things, but this is my favorite. It is a Cutco. Where does it say it? Cutco. Do you see that right there? Cutco. And this is the reason I like it. See how it has a curve to it? So that allows, when I'm cutting, it allows me to rock it like that, back and forth. And if you can get that rocking motion when you're cutting, then you can move real fast and you can cut super fast. So that is a great tip for you right there. The right tools for the right job. That's important. So, find yourself one good knife that you like. That's really all you need. And a good cutting board. Now, the cutting board. Here's the thing. I have a cutting board like this. Cutting board. Right. That's what I have right now. But the problem with cutting boards are that they move. They can move. You can make any cutting board stay where it is by taking a wet paper towel, just wet, damp. Like you wet it, squeeze it all out, and put the paper towel underneath it. And then you put like a regular, this one has, these little thingies here, which don't, do crap. If it didn't have these at all, it was just a flat piece of wood, I would put the wet paper towel down and then put this directly on top of that. It wouldn't move. I know, right? So how cool is that? 2 tips right off the bat. Okay. So, a couple other things. You want to have a good non-stick pan. We have like this. Now, it doesn't look very non-stick right now. And the reason why I say you want to have a good non-stick pan is just for like omelets and sautés and things like that. You don't have to have a non-stick pan, but the problem is most people don't know what to do with a pan. So they don't put enough oil in it, and they don't heat the pan up before they put the oil or the butter or whatever they're using. So if you put food in when it's still cold and then try to heat it up, or you put you just turn the oven on, the stove on, and the pan's still not hot at all, and you put the oil in and then you throw stuff in, it's going to stick. It's going to stick. You have to get that oil searing enough to where whatever the food that's in there, pulls away from the surface of the pan. So what I do is I will go to Ross or Marshall's or TJ Maxx, or there's a grocery outlet that sometimes has things. You can find a 10-inch or a 12-inch saute pan, like kind of this configuration. Because this way I can put food in here and I can flip it. But I like the 10-inch is good, 12-inch is okay. I do the 12-inch because we've got, cooking for the whole family, so I need something bigger. But I used to have just a 10-inch one that I thought was fantastic, perfect for omelets. Yeah, so that's a tip for you. Butter is great. Make sure everything is covered in the oil or the butter and it's hot before you put stuff in. You can Google any of this. There's YouTube videos on all kinds of cooking. You can watch cooking shows. I used to just watch cooking shows religiously, man. I could turn the TV on the Food Network and I'm done. But I don't watch TV really at all anymore. But when I'm traveling, if I'm by myself and I'm in a hotel at a convention or something, man, if I'm not out there on the floor and I'm by myself, I'm back up in my room and I'm watching Food Network. Unless I'm hanging out with one of the other guests, hanging out with my boys and drinking a little wine, But anyway, so that is a cool tip for you. Here's another one. So I like salt that is like sea salt that is chunky, and get a grinder. So that way you grind it in nice powdery salt, but it's natural sea salt. Because if you get that other salt, the salts that's already been processed and stuff added to it, no, don't do that. Although if you want kosher salt, now that's a different type. There's different salts that will do different things, but for an everyday salt for you, seriously, get some chunky rock sea salt and just twist it on as you need it. It's just better. Plus, so most of us know this as far as pepper goes. Black peppercorn. Always grind fresh. Always grind fresh. Ben, what's up? Hey, thanks for subscribing, bud. Appreciate that immensely. We're talking foodie stuff tonight. And so, okay, so what I was saying is, always grind your black pepper fresh, always. Here's a cool tip. So when you go to Europe or Australia, New Zealand, the pepper that they serve on the tables is white pepper. So get some white pepper and grind that. Test the difference. You'll see the difference in flavors when you do that. Cool, old school gamer. You will see the difference in the peppers. And I'm telling you, man, it makes a difference. There's a savoriness to the white pepper that I just freaking love. And so whenever I go to Australia or anywhere else and I get my fish and chips, it's like, or if I have my breakfast, my Irish breakfast, best breakfast on the planet. When I have that and I sprinkle the pepper, salt and pepper, there's a little bit of a different flavor to it. And that's what it is. And that's for the longest time I was like, I don't understand what it is. That's what it is. And it's freaking tasty. So there is that. Another thing that I would have, I always have a little shaker of sugar. I don't use sugar very often, but every now and then a little bit of sugar goes a long way. Just a little bit. I mean, sugar is like poison, I'm telling you. And yes, I know, I love a good sugary whatever, but I don't eat it very often. But every now and then in a dish, like if you're making red sauce, and it's got this tart, tangy, you've got to know how to balance the sweet, salty, the bitter, the sour, the umami, and I think there's another flavor it's like pungent. I don't know what it is. Anyway, sugar, yes. I'll try to add more if you can. Okay, cool. So that is a couple things there that are really important. And olive oil. Here's a tip. So I really cook only with olive oil. Every now and then, if I'm going to do like wings or something, and I need an oil that has a higher heat point, there's always grapeseed oil. There's canola. There's sunflower. There's safflower. There's sunflower. There's so many different oils. But you want something with a high smoke point. Try to get something as natural as you can, because some of those oils are not good. Not good. And you can always look it up, and it doesn't matter what oil it is, people are going to say there's something wrong with it, except olive oil. It's always good. The thing about olive oil is you can fry things in olive oil. It's not like that's a bad thing. It's just you got to be careful, because if you go too high heat, it's going to be a problem. So the olive oil, there's a lot of counterfeit olive oil. One of the best places to actually get olive oil is at Costco, because the Kirkland brand is tried and true, and they know, because there's a lot of counterfeit olive oil coming out of Italy. It's the freaking mafia, dude. I know. So some of the olive oils, this I have no idea. This is Simple Truth from Ralph's here, it's Kroger, I guess you'd say. And I have no idea. I have no idea if this is like good olive oil, because they cut it with all kinds of crap. And so I always have, I try to get some good olive oil, and I try to get the organic extra virgin olive oil from Costco. It's the cheapest. It's the best. You can buy, big freaking honking jugs of it, and it's great. Let's see, the other oils to use. You can use coconut oil. I don't really use it that often, but we have some over here. One thing that I do swear by is to have a big old thing of garlic, granulated. Yes, I know. Some of you foodies are like, oh my God, I can't believe he has dry powdered garlic. I know. Always go with fresh when you can. But every now and then, you're going fast, you're rocking and rolling, you're making a sauce, you're like, I don't have anything. Throw some garlic in there. That's fine. It helps. Fresh garlic is always going to win the day, I'm just going to say. And then one thing that I like to always have on hand is a balsamic vinaigrette. Olive oil, balsamic vinegar, a little water, maybe some spices, a little sugar, whatever you want to put in it. Shake that up and have it at the ready, because it stays good for a long time, and you can throw it over like grilled romaine, grilled broccoli, things like that. It just really spices it up really nice. And throw it over a steak if you want, a little butter and that. It's always good. Another cool thing that I like, and I really haven't done anything with this since we moved over here, but when I was dating a lot and I had salt, I pick up salt all over the world. So I've got black Hawaiian salt. This is, which one is this? Oh, okay, that's black Hawaiian salt. That is bamboo salt. Bamboo salt. I don't even know. This is white. This is from an Australian lake bed, and it is incredibly salty. It's really good. And this is some salt that has little mustard seeds in it. I don't remember where I got that, but it's salt. It keeps forever. And this kind of stuff, the big chunky stuff, is when you're finishing a dish, you just grab a little bit and sprinkle on top. Done. Send it out. That's a neat little tip that I use to finish off some dishes. I mean, great, like have an omelet and sprinkle a little crunchy black salt on it, so you get that little crunch. And yeah, Himalayan salt, yeah, definitely have had that. They had big Himalayan pink salt. Yeah, you can get that anywhere. So I think we have some of that up there, don't we? Yes. See if there's anything else. Oh, cool. Here's a cool thing that I do. Let me just show you real quick. So this, some of my spices, check it out right here. Look at all that. So what you do is you take these little Lazy Susans and you put all your spices on it, and that's easy when you've got a little bit of space. And you just zip it around. Another thing that I like to do is whenever I'm done with a spot, what the hell is that? Whenever I'm done with a spice, I'll save the decanter, because you can buy spices like this in the bags for like very cheap, like a little Mexican, in the Mexican section of like Ralph's or whatever. There's some really nice spices. It's cheap, man. Just cut it open and put it in your own thing. And you can do your own mixes too, which is really cool. Because I have a mix, like for example, I mean, this was some Spanish stuff that I got from Australia that is fantastic. This is a berbere. And if you don't know what that is, it's like a North African spicy spice mix. And I picked that. I made that myself, so I put that together. Yeah, pretty cool ideas. So those are some of the cool things that I like to have here. More like, Spice Spencer, hey, I see what you did there. I see what you did. A couple other things. Oh, one, always have honey. And if you can get honey that is straight from the bee's ass, that's what you want. There's this place that we go in Topanga. Where is it? Topanga Quality. It's on the road from here to Santa Barbara. If you go up the 5 and then cut over, there's this little place. They've got it. You just go and boom, they give you honey, and it is great honey. So we picked that up. Yep, I know those wildfires are still going. I'm praying for everybody down there, because man, that's rough. We know what it's like out here in California. That's one of our seasons. It's like, is it fire season yet? Okay, so honey, that's a big thing you want to have. Let's see. Another tip, always have tomatoes. Always have a can of tomatoes. A couple cans, a few cans. Because they go far. They go for, if you want to have a red sauce, boom, done. You want to have a stew of some kind, boom, done. You want to have some chili or something, boom, done. You need some tomatoes, done. And they're really easy to deal with. I prefer, now if you watch like Alton Brown, he's like, you know, if you're going to do something like this, you get the whole tomatoes, you know, peeled, but not stewed, but they're the whole tomatoes peeled, and you get them. And then you take those and you squeeze them and you chop them up and all that. And that's great, because he's like, wow, it's a flavor difference. I haven't noticed the flavor difference, to be honest. So always have some of that, and have some tomato paste. I'll check it out. So a couple other things, something I love. So tomato paste, you know, you can get the Contadina tomato paste, or the, I don't know, what, Hunt's and Del Monte or whatever. But if you find some really cool imported, like double, triple, what's the word I'm looking for? Concentrated. Like this, you know, a teaspoon will go a long way. Like, for example, in my gumbo, people don't think about, you know, putting a lot of tomato in gumbo. And I don't, but I put a little bit while it's really, really brown on the roux, and it gives it a sweet smokiness. It's just that one little extra layer, just a little bit of tomato paste. Very cool thing to do. Another thing, always have some bouillon, better than bouillon, organic if you can get it, like chicken and beef, anything else if you want, but the chicken and beef are two of the main ones. When you're making a soup or a stew or just about anything, you can take a good teaspoon, tablespoon of that, pop that in there, and it's going to make a world of difference. I've tried a bunch of different ones, and that's so far my favorite. There are other ones that other people get, like this one from Sprouts or something. It'll do in a pinch if you have to. You gotta have that. If you don't have any, always have some of this on hand, cornstarch. Get non-GMO organic if you can. That is a great thickener because you want to kind of steer clear of wheat if you can. I know gluten is an issue, especially in my family. Kim is gluten intolerant. Declan's not crazy about gluten. I'm all about gluten. I'm cool with gluten. But, in order to get away from it, use something else. But then you get with corn, and it's like, well, corn's even more GMO and more blah, 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 more pesticides, et cetera, et cetera. So get non-GMO, organic, so there's no pesticides, yada, yada, yada. Because in all of the Chinese cooking that I've ever done, they use cornstarch. And all the books that I've read about and all the recipes I've seen, it's always cornstarch. And you take the cornstarch and you put a little water in it and make a slurry, so that when the stir fry is bubbling or the soup is bubbling, you pour it in slowly and stir it so it doesn't clump, because that'd be a mess. Let me check on this right quick. Good, got a little soup happening there. Spicy lemongrass, salt and pepper. That sounds good. The first dish I ever made in my life was a spicy stir-fried cabbage. So it was like onions, garlic, ginger, and cabbage, and some hot, chili sauce thing that I made. It was awesome. And that started me cooking. It was from Betty Crocker Cooks Chinese. And this was 1986, 7, something like that. And then I just started cooking and learning and teaching myself. And then, boy, when Food Network came around, oh, crack. Yeah. Okay, a couple other things real quick. Something you always have around is dried mushrooms. You can have dried mushrooms, mixed mushrooms, or shiitake mushrooms, or whatever kind of mushroom. Porcini mushrooms, really good. Have those at the ready, because all you do is pour some boiling water over them and let it steep for a bit, and now you've got mushrooms. You can throw into anything, and the juice from that is very flavorful. So that's always a great thing to have on hand, and they keep forever. Another thing, one of my favorites, Kalamata olives. Oh, they just bought this for me, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm just gonna put it right down my pants. Kalamata olives are the best. Pitted or not, I mean, it's up to you. But I love Greek stuff. So anytime I put Kalamata olives in something, I just feel awesome. And you can do a tapenade with that. Really simple. Take a whole bunch of olives, some olive oil, garlic, maybe a spice or two, and just blend the hell out of it. And you got this great tapenade. Put it on anything. Put it on yourself. Put it behind your ears. This is a cool foodie find. Now, I found this in Australia at a place called Coles, one of their big stores. They have a gluten-free version, and we just picked it up while we were there because we were just like, hey, it's gluten-free, great, we'll try it. And I was just like, oh my God, head over heels. This is Indonesian mie goreng. Mie goreng. You see that there? Let's see if I can get it. Man, this is weird. There. Mie goreng. There we go. So, and that I find at, they get it at Ralph's now. I found it at Cost Plus. I was like, oh my gosh, this is, never see that. Well, there it is. It is so good. It really is. The gluten-free was amazing. And so I recommend gluten-free with gluten. I don't care, but just the flavor. Oh my gosh. So check that out if you like that. And with that, I always put, well, I have homemade, but it's called ketchup manis. It's Kecap manis. Ketchup manis. And ketchup manis is like a sweet soy sauce that has been really reduced and thick. And it is so good. So you add a little more to that, and that is something that is a great food find I found a long time ago, and I was just like, wow, head over heels, so freaking good. So try that. Another thing, another tip. This is pretty much for any kind of fish, like sardines. Notice what it's in: extra virgin olive oil. When you get fish in a can, which it's great. I mean, it can be really, really wonderful. Make sure it's in olive oil. There's just a succulence. There's a flavor. There's a depth that is so much better, especially with tuna. You know, you tuna in water, it's like, get the tuna in olive oil. It's, I'll take a can of tuna, and I'll just put salt, olive oil, and Parmesan cheese, and some garlic, and just mix that up. It's great. It's phenomenal. Julio here. How are you? Thanks for joining us, my friend. We are talking all kinds of foodie finds, so I'm going to share some more cool things with you that I know, and I'm going to do that over here. Oh, if you guys have any tea, if you like tea, I mean, I'm a coffee guy, so we're doing coffee with, we do a French press. So you just throw the coffee in, you boil some water, pour the water in, mix it up, let it sit for a minute, and then you just steep it on down. Makes really good coffee. Very easy, very simple. But we also use this. This is what we found in Italy, and it's pretty easy to use too, but it just doesn't make a lot of coffee. So if you do like coffee, these are two really great ways of doing it. Don't use a coffee maker. I know we have some behind us, and you want it to be fresher. You want it to be fresher. But if you have tea or something, be sure and find something like this to keep it in. It's something to really keep it in. This is yerba mate. If you like tea, try yerba mate. Try loose, and you get something like this. Get something like this that you can just scoop it up. So you just scoop it up and then drop it into. Pour the hot water over it and let it steep. Amazing. So that's something. Oh, okay. While I'm chatting with you, I could just go through my drawer here and just show you all the crap that I'm working with. Present in Spike Spencer's chat room. Excellent. I'm glad you're here. Okay, so. That's looking pretty warm. All right. So if you are a wine drinker like myself, then you need to have an aerator of some kind. An aerator, it runs air through the wine and it helps it expand. I tell people it's like adding butter. It just makes it richer, fuller, and more flavorful. So this is our favorite right now. This is from a winery we went to in I forgot what it's called, Turtle Ridge or something like that, in like Ramona, California. We were down there on some stuff. So we just went to this little winery. It's like pretty tasty wine, but we saw this. And of course, Declan loves turtles. So he'll go, turtle. And so this is hysterical and funny because whenever the wine comes through here, it's like, and I think it's funny. So I usually make that sound when I'm pouring the wine because I'm a grown up. All right. Another couple of tips for you. Oh, and I'm going to tell you right now, this is the sauce. Take a picture of this, find it. I found it at Cost Plus. I don't care how you do it, get this. This is so good, it's crazy. It's sweet, it's spicy, and amazing. And my wife is here, she's sneaking in. Do you want, I got the soup ready to go. Yeah, okay.
Hi guys.
Here you go.
Not feeling too hot.
It's nice and hot. for you.
Perfect.
So she's going to have the chicken and dumplings because it is incredibly healing, yummy, flavorful, and beautiful. Dry Ice Cube says hello again. Hope you feel better.
Thank you so much.
So back to this one. Remember, Lingham's hot sauce. I put this on like eggs in the morning. Oh my god, so good, so freaking good. Oh, also, a lot of you guys are anime fans. You like Japanese food. I make tonkatsu from scratch. If you don't know what tonkatsu is, it's the pork. Whoa. What happened? It's a pork cutlet that is breaded and deep fried in panko, and it's just spectacular. And it's served over shredded cabbage, usually. And there's a tonkatsu sauce that goes on top of it. Well, guess what? I have some, and this is the best. I love this stuff so freaking much. Bulldog. Yeah. It is so good, and I highly recommend it. If you get some, if you have some tonkatsu, get this, guys. Get this. This is not spicy at all. This one is not spicy at all. This one's very sweet. This is awesome. The other one has a bit of spice, but not like Louisiana sauce. Not that kind of thing. I don't go for the crazy, crazy hot, except I mean, I have some. I have different sauces like that. See, I'm the kind of guy who whenever I see a sauce, I buy it. I'll try it. I'll try anything. My favorite, Tabasco. Oh yeah. And see, I am, so what I'll do is, because Tabasco is, to me, is not hot, so I will literally put in one little bowl of my gumbo, I will put about 40, dunks like that. But then I'll add something along the lines of this, or, this, or something that is hot, so it's got a little bit of that extra pop to it. What else do I have to share with you? Oh, yeah. Here we go. So if you are a Japanese food fan, which I will also on the, like anytime I have rice, I know the Japanese don't like to really do anything with their rice except eat it. And it's like, you know what? And they also like tofu a lot. It tastes like paste. So, but they also make some amazing spices. And this one is a togarashi, so it's a nanami togarashi, or a shichimi togarashi. You'll see these. Go to a Japanese place, you'll see like they'll have like 10 of these different spices. Get them all. Play with them. Have fun. This one has like chili peppers and sesame seed, ginger, seaweed, Japanese pepper, orange peel. I mean, black sesame. It's phenomenal. So I sprinkle this all over my rice. And then, of course, if you want some furikake, you see that there? Furikake. This is good too. Put this in. It's got a little seaweed and all kinds of flavors. Those are amazing. So I highly recommend those. What else do we have? Let's see. Oh, now this one, dumpling sauce. Now there's a dumpling sauce. It's white chuan, and this is okay. But there's a red one that is, I mean, it's probably horrible. It's probably terrible for you. I mean, but it tastes so freaking good, and it's hot, spicy, and it's just got, I mean, it's just soy sauce and MSG and all kinds of crap. I don't care. It's so good. So that, and then, what else do we got on here? Something else that, of course, if you're feeling south of the border, a little Cholula action. This is one of my favorite. It was introduced to me by Amanda Wynn Lee, actually, Cholula, and, of course, Tapatio and Cholula. Give those a go. Oops. All right. Oh. And here's something I don't quite understand. So, soy sauce, for some reason they add a lot of wheat to it. It doesn't make any sense to me, but they do. But you can get tamari, which is gluten-free. And it doesn't cost a whole lot more. It doesn't make any sense. So if, uh-oh. Hey, Kim, he's up. So if I were, if I were running any kind of Asian place, I would do all gluten-free. And I'd be able to say, we're gluten-free, and charge a lot more. Good thinking. Okay. Since we're still on the Asian kick, guys. Hoisin sauce and oyster flavor sauce. These are bases. This is a base. Well, the oyster flavor sauce is a base for Chinese stir fries and whatnot. Hoisin can be mixed with just anything. I just did a duck. I did a roast duck with pomegranate molasses, hoisin, and honey. Mix that up, and I use that as a glaze. Wow. So that is a pretty cool deal. Now, another thing. All right. I mean, seriously, that was absolutely amazing. And another thing I loved to do was I would test. For example, when I had a date night and I had 2 Cornish game hens, and I cut them in half. And I had 4 halves of Cornish game hens, and I brushed different marinades on each. One was butter and vanilla. One was Cholula and honey. One was, I don't even know what it was. But, did that, and that was a great night. So it was like, hey, let's try all these different things. Like, oh, I love this one. I love this one. Like, it was awesome. And one of my favorites is hoisin and honey. And I put that over a French cut rack of lamb, and do a hoisin honey glaze with an amazing it's a succotash that has sun-dried tomatoes and edamame and browned corn. It was really good, along with miso mashed potatoes. Ooh, that's another one. Oh, wait. While I've got this out. So what I call, yeah, it is. Yes, it is. So what I call the 4 horsemen of the Japanese apocalypse, it is how I flavor my Japanese stuff, like a gyudon or something like that. It's equal parts, and this is real simple. You might want to write this down, but it's real simple. Equal parts of rice vinegar, soy sauce, mirin, M-I-R-I-N, which is a sweet vinegar, and sake. So if you've got a big batch of something, a cup of each, put that in together, and you could slow simmer ribs, chicken, a shoe, it doesn't matter. It would turn out phenomenal. And the thing I would say about some vinegars, always have like an apple cider vinegar that's really good. You can just take shots of apple cider vinegar, and it is really good for you. Like a shot in the morning, a day. I mean, phenomenal. It's like having kombucha. It's really good for your digestive system. But vinegar cuts things. So if you have like a red wine vinegar or rice wine vinegar or apple cider vinegar or whatever it is, if there's something in a dish that you're just not quite figuring it out, add a couple of splashes of vinegar, and it opens it up. It's really good. Let's see. Kind of off topic, but would it be cool to see one of your Tuesday, Thursday streams on asking the right questions? That's one of my difficulties I have. I need more help learning how to ask questions in general. Absolutely. Rice vinegar, soy sauce, sake, and mirin, M-I-R-I-N. And I'm looking to make some mirin myself, because the mirin is basically cornstarch and other stuff. I mean, it's just sweet. But it's a specific kind, and if you can make it yourself, you can probably do something more gourmet and foodie. Oh, by the way, is the audio good on this? I'm using the Logitech 920S. This is my new camera, so this is my setup that I've got going right now. I'm hoping it's looking and sounding good. It looks good on my end, but I don't have my microphone up, so I'm trying that one. Audio's been good, excellent. So those, for Asian cooking, those are my favorites, and I've done a lot of Asian cooking, and I freaking love it, man. And those 4 are phenomenal. And if you want, you can go back. go on my YouTube and look way back, years back. I have cooking videos that I did a while back. I'll show you how to chop things and cool, all the stuff. Because I was working on Don't Kill Your Date and other cooking tips to make that a show. So Food Game may end up being that show, or Food for Thought, or whatever. I don't know. Something's going to happen around food because I love to cook and I love food. Obviously, the book was called Food Game. Mine is 922. There you go. Oh, cool. So, miso. Miso. So this is red miso. You can take this stuff and you can make your own miso soup, which I highly recommend, but you've got to have the bonito flakes, the daishi, I think it's daishi. When you make it your own, miso on your own, it's great. If you get it in a package, it's usually crap. So really you need to make your own. But here's a great tip for miso. Put it in mashed potatoes. So good. What else can I tell you? So, man, I'm giving you guys a lot of tips. I love doing this stuff. I love cooking. So, yeah, check out my videos on YouTube. I do have some cooking vids. Oh, and go back on my Facebook page. Just look up videos. I did cooking videos for a long time. I have them all over. I would just, crank it up, go live, and go, hey, everybody, I'm cooking. Check it out. So that is definitely something to check out. I have a ton of videos on my Facebook page that were like 5-minute tips. Like I was saying, the dry ice cubes, like asking the right questions. I will definitely do one. Keep asking me that because I've got a few things lined up, so it'd be down the road a little bit. But yeah, that's a great one. Asking better questions. That's one of the tenets of success. They say, ask better questions. Tony Robbins talks about it all the time. And so you do have to ask better questions, and there are ways of doing that. Let's see, question. Am I involved in the stock market? No. I have had a 401k, I had a Roth IRA, some things happened, so I don't have any of that. I actually rolled stocks and I did commodities for a little bit, just as a, as a hobby. I was thinking it was going to make me a lot of money. It didn't, but I did make money, so it's interesting. Yeah. Anyway, I've done a lot. Real estate is the thing that I would say, learn real estate, learn it, and start investing now, because you can do it with no money. I did it a lot. I'll talk about that some other time, because we're talking about food. Gosh, we're pretty much almost done here. What else? Do you guys have any questions? Because, I can talk about a lot of stuff. One thing. So when I was in Italy, so we were in Italy, we honeymooned in a little town north of Cinque Terre, which is up in, if you're looking at the boot from where you guys are, the boot, it's like way up here. It's almost up to where France is. And so it's just south of Genoa and north of Florence, right in there in the middle. And it's absolutely stunning. How do you feel about investing in international properties? Hey, they're good deals, look into it. I've thought about getting some things in like Ireland or something and Airbnb-ing it. I have 3 Airbnbs right now. That's for another time. But anyway, so what was that? Oh, Italy. So what we did in Italy, I was cooking there in Italy. I was doing all the cooking. We had an Airbnb, and my cooking got so much better, and it was so simple because I didn't really have anything. All we had was salt, pepper, oil, and whatever produce was around, rosemary, which was growing right outside, and wine, of course, lots of that. And what was the other thing? So it's Parmesan, oil, and salt. Yeah, Parmesan, when any dish we would have, be it omelet or soup or chicken, it did not matter. It was sprinkle salt, Parmesan cheese, and a glug of olive oil. That was it. We finished it off. Oh my gosh, so good. So good. I mean, the food in Italy is absolutely spectacular. It's fairly similar wherever you go, but it is all really wonderful. I mean, after a while, I was like going, I want a taco. Can I get a taco, please? But it was crazy phenomenal. And I learned a lot of different recipes. So, like caponata and ratatouille, and oh my gosh, oh, so good. And I had life-changing carbonara in Trastevere in Rome. Yeah, and where did I have bolognese? No, it was carbonara. Oh my gosh! If you guys know Bourdain, he did that episode on Cacio e Pepe in the place that shall not be named. Well, I went there and it was closed, so we ate right behind it. And then the next night we came because it said it was going to be open, and it was closed. So we ate again on the other side, across the street from the other place. Two of the most amazing meals I've ever had in my life. And yeah, so if you can go over there, I would say go. It's so good. And interesting thing. So we were in Monalia. Like I said, it's like 20 minutes north of Cinque Terre. So we'd get on the train and head on down. Little teeny tiny town. Everything closes up around 3 for a couple hours. And we found this little place called Asirto. A little restaurant. We're like, yeah, cool, we'll check it out. And we go in, it's like, can we come in? And there's like nobody there. He's like, no, they already have reservations. So I'm like, there ain't nobody here, man. Well, apparently, if you're like, well, you can come in at like 6. You just got to leave by, 7:30. Okay, great, no problem. We'll just eat and go. It was the best food ever. We went back again. It was like $200 a night, and we were on a budget. I'm like, screw the budget. We're gonna eat that. We're gonna eat there again, and we did. And the owner came out, and it was just teeny tiny. It would only seat like 15, 20 people tops. And it was so good. And we didn't realize, I just found this out literally a few weeks ago, so we were in there in 2014. In 2015, Forbes magazine said that at Asirto, the meal at Asirto was the best meal in the world. And we ate there twice, y'all. Foodie! So how cool is that? And it was insanely amazing. Oh, never forget it. So anyway, that's what I'm talking about, you guys, for amazing stuff for food. My first job, I lost about 15K total in the stock market. That happens. Saved a lot since then, but is sitting in your bank account. Tips on entering real estate. Medilan, I was talking about this earlier. I'm a coach for real estate as well. I coach real estate mindset. I've flipped over 60 properties on my own. I'm asset manager right now on a 30-unit complex. I'm looking at lease options in different areas. Happy to talk to you about it. If you want to hit me up at info@spikespencer.com. You can ask me a question, or what I would highly recommend is you buy a session with me, which is a strategy session, which it's $149. It's going to be the best $149 you've ever spent. Guarantee it. So that's something to think about. I've been working on putting it on my site. I have a link to that if you want. But I can definitely help you out with that. When do you get a chance to explore the world, get some good grub? Man, heck yeah, you got to get out there. This is one of the things I say about life. When you're traveling, eat the local food. You're tasting the soul of that place, especially breakfasts. Breakfasts are, it's like, think about it. Every day, people eat the same thing for breakfast. Like my son, he likes half a banana, a waffle, and an egg. He'll ask for it in the morning. He's like right there in the pillow right next to me. He's like, "Bata, egg." I'm like, oh, okay. Property manager software do you think is best? Appfolio. I like Appfolio. My management company out there uses it, and I really like Appfolio. I'm able to work with that. Anyway, so guys, this is it. I'm coming to the end here. I need to have a glass of wine myself. And I want to thank you guys for coming out. See, Sunday nights are really relaxed. Is it Medilan or Median? I don't know. Let me know. Like I said, info@spikespencer.com. Check out, go to spikespencer.com and go over to I believe it's under coaching. I'm still working on all the tabs, but you'll see real estate's Fair Winds Investment Group. Take a look at that. As I've got some information there. I've also got, you can go to pleasanthomesolutions.com. That's my site that I'm working on for lease options. And there you go. You'll have some good information there. Gosh, what else can I tell you guys? Eat well, eat right. It's food for thought, baby. I have had a great time with you guys. I'm so happy that you guys are here. Please tell your friends, and this will be over on YouTube. Everything that I do here on Twitch goes to YouTube, and then I'm going to start, before long, I'm going to start pulling the audio out for my podcast, which is now called Mind Scrambler. Yes. And I'll tell you all about how I found that, because it's phenomenal. It's just phenomenal. Some of you guys already told. So that's it, guys. Have yourself a wonderful evening. Go eat some good food, and just see me again on Tuesdays and Thursdays, 9 a.m. or next Sunday right here. Same bad time, same bad channel. All right, take care, guys. Have a wonderful evening, and I'm going to get out of here now.